Calaroga Shark Media.
From Los Angeles, where we pre-taped this one in case our plane was delayed, this is Ballot.
That's right. Thanks, United. Plus time zones, bro. I'm not getting up at 3 a.m. to record. Let's hit this. Could Taylor Swift sway the election? Imagine this. A conference call with the vice president and a crowd of Swifties. Because who better to swing a presidential election than the same people who debate the significance of Easter eggs in Taylor Swift lyrics? Swift's fans, who range from teens to adults who can now actually vote, have decided that their next mission is to support Kamala Harris's presidential bid. This group might just have an influence that J.D. Vance's so-called cat ladies could only dream of. And no, Taylor didn't even need to endorse Harris to make it happen, yet. Why the Swift effect matters? Well, Swift's profile has been in overdrive lately. From dropping albums to dating a Super Bowl champion, she's never been more famous. Google searches for her have gone through the roof, and her favorability ratings are soaring, not just with Democrats, but even with some Republicans. Yep, it seems a shake-it-off truce is in the air. But here's where it gets interesting. Young voters are now rallying around Harris. In swing states, polls are showing that Harris is getting a boost among the under-35 crowd. And if these Swifties, who have a history of making things trend faster than you can say Eras Tour, decide to vote? Well, let's just say the 2024 election might have a few more friendship bracelets at the polls. And don't forget, a nudge from Taylor could do more than just boost turnout. Remember when she got tens of thousands to register to vote with a single Instagram post? Imagine the power of a full-on endorsement for Harris. A USA Today poll suggested that 9% of Americans might be influenced by a Swift endorsement. That might not sound huge, but in an election that could be decided by a few thousand votes in swing states like Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, it's enough to make the GOP nervous. So, while Harris's campaign team might not be asking Swift to write a new anthem, they're probably not too upset that her fans are deciding it's time to, well, begin again. Comedian Michael Ian Black wrote in the Daily Beast, comparing Donald Trump to a hack comedian, specifically Andrew Dice Clay. Black wrote, as he compares the two, there's another bullying jerkhead out there repeating the same shtick he's been doing for years and years. Like Clay, a lot of people think he's a misogynistic prick. Like Clay, he wears the same stupid costume he's had decades. Like Clay, his act has grown stale and his crowd size is depleted. And like Clay, he seems angry as hell about it. I haven't watched a live Trump rally in years, so when I tuned into his Bozeman, Montana appearance, I was surprised to realize that Trump is, essentially, just another road comic trotting out all his tired bits from yesteryear to increasingly little effect. "Hello, Montana," he said to rapturous cheers as he strode onto stage. He opened with a little local humor. "I've been all over your state. Everything's 2 hours. When are we going to be there?" 2 hours, sir. 2 hours. As an observation, it's mundane. As a joke, it's non-existent. But the audience love him and they eat it up. Black may have a point. Apparently, Trump has decided that the perfect mascot for his 2024 campaign is none other than Hannibal Lecter? Yes, the fictional cannibal from The Silence of the Lambs. Because nothing says "Make America Great Again" like a guy who enjoys fava beans with a side of human liver. At a rally in Atlanta, Trump dropped this gem. "They hate when I use Dr. Hannibal Lecter. The late, great Hannibal Lecter." Did I miss the part where Lecter was a real guy who died peacefully in his sleep after a long career in cannibalism? Or maybe Trump just respects a man with a taste for the finer things, like Chianti and human flesh. But wait, it gets better. Trump isn't just name-dropping Lecter for fun. He's actually using him as a metaphor for immigrants. Yep, you heard that right. According to Trump, immigrants are like Hannibal Lecter, straight out of mental institutions, ready to eat America alive. Because, you know, nothing says immigration policy like comparing people to a psychopath who wears other people's faces. And let's talk about this for a second. Trump's out here riffing on a character from a movie that came out over 30 years ago. It's like his rallies are stuck in a time warp, where The Silence of the Lambs is still playing in theaters, and the only music anyone's allowed to listen to is YMCA. The guy's still rocking 1980s fashion, for crying out loud. If the 80s ever needed a spokesperson, Trump would be the guy, minus the leg warmers. But here's the kicker. Trump actually thinks this Hannibal shtick is working. He's mentioned Lecter in 20 different speeches. That's right, 20. Even Anthony Hopkins, the actor who played Lecter, is probably sitting at home thinking, wait, what? So, what's next? Trump quoting Freddy Krueger on healthcare? You know, Freddy had some great ideas about preventive care. Get them in their dreams, folks. Or maybe he'll start referencing Jason Voorhees when discussing national security. We need someone like Jason guarding our borders. Jimmy Fallon joked, Vice President Harris is now the betting favorite to win the 2024 presidential election. And it's all thanks to her new campaign strategy, letting Trump talk. Fallon again. According to a new report, former President Trump is furious at his campaign staff for letting him make the terrible decision of picking J.D. Vance as his VP. Trump regrets pairing up with Vance. He's like, this is always why I sign a prenup. Stephen Colbert said, a damning report links J.D. Vance to horrific work conditions. Those conditions? Working with J.D. Vance? Local artist Bill Secunda is hammering home the notion of toughness with his latest creation. A life-size sculpture of former President Donald Trump, crafted entirely from nails. Because, well, who knows? Secunda, inspired by Trump's defiant gesture after being grazed by a bullet, decided that a traditional marble bust just wouldn't do. Instead, he chose 4,000 twisted and bent metal nails, because nothing says resilience like a bunch of rusty spikes. The statue, which debuted at the Butler Farm Show, the same venue where the incident occurred, features Trump in a light navy suit, raising his fist as if to say, I'm not just tough, I'm made of nails. Secunda's previous works include a life-size moose and a giant tin man, proving that he's got a knack for turning everyday objects into grand sculptures. But this Trump piece is special. According to Secunda, the hair was a lot of fun. Yes, he spent considerable time researching Trump's hairdo and ears to get that perfect yellow finish. In another episode of What Did Trump Just Say?, the former president took his fear-mongering routine to a whole new level, hinting that he might flee to, wait for it, Venezuela if he loses the upcoming election. Yes, you heard that right. The man who spent years building walls to keep people out is now considering skipping town himself. You can't make this stuff up. During his interview with Elon Musk, Trump dropped this little gem. If something happens with this election, which would be a horror show, we'll meet the next time in Venezuela. And just like that, Venezuela, a country best known for its political crackdowns and economic collapse, became the new Mar-a-Lago. Who knew? He went on to say, we'll have a meeting and dinner in Venezuela, as if he's already making dinner reservations. You have to wonder what's on the menu, probably something with a side of irony. But Trump didn't stop there. He used the moment to demonize immigration, suggesting that Venezuela's really bad people were all fleeing to the U.S. Their crime rate is coming down, and our crime rate's going through the roof, he said. Apparently in Trump's world, when criminals leave Venezuela, the crime rate drops like magic. And then, boom, crime skyrockets in America. He even claimed that Venezuela has already gotten rid of about 70% of their really bad people by sending them straight to the U.S. In Trump's mind, it seems the Venezuelan government is running some kind of bad guy clearance sale, and we're buying in bulk. Portions of today's program were made with the help of AI, but unfortunately the screaming baby on my flight was real. Thanks, baby.